Alrighty, how's it going? Let's do a little... Let's do a little bit more work on my game, eh? It's also raining at the moment, which is going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass. How bad is it? It doesn't look crazy on the mic meter down the bottom there. But alright, so, like the title says, sound. It is definitely the most important part of a game, and as it stands now, we have none. We set up a few sounds here and there. We've got it working a little bit, but I want to make something better. I want to write a system that allows us to add and just play sounds easy. You know what I mean? I don't know whether or not I want it to be attached to a character yet. But yeah, now as we can see, no sound. Also, that guy should be jumping at me right now. He sort of just stopped jumping, I don't know why. Oh, he ain't swinging anymore. Why ain't you swinging? What did I do? How'd that break you? This was something else that I was trying to dick around with. I just wanted to get a thumbnail. I wanted to pause the game, but we don't have that set up in this scene. Enemy engaging. Which would be doing essentially... I feel like I need to sneeze. Where are you? Weapons. Melee.fire weapon. Hit. Speaking of hit, where was that other one? No, fuck. Okay, ignore the lowercase hit. I couldn't remember where it is. And it just cleared the console, so... Fucker. So you're not even trying. Why aren't you trying? What's wrong with you? How are you doing this? What is happening here? I swear this was working yesterday. Wasn't it? I have no idea, man. I don't know what the fuck's happening. Why is... Okay, get rid of this. That was the ground check that we did yesterday. So we modified that. Alright, are we making it to the first hit? Are you doing that? Are you trying to attack and not making it through those checks somehow? Is that what's happening? It shouldn't be, but is it? He just never tries again. Hmm. What? The feck? So you're only trying that once. Trying to fire your weapon once, and then never again. Why? Is it ticking the state machine? It should be. Why wouldn't it be? It's... Oh my god, this is so dumb. This was working. It's not ticking the state machine. Engaging. Chasing. We'll do the other one too. Victorious. Finish my coffee. Maybe not quite finished. Alright. Chasing, 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 chasing. So you're never leaving the chasing scenario. Also, I just landed on your head and killed you. Whoop, that was my bad, sorry. My bad. Sorry, man. So you're just going into chasing. You should be going back to engaging when player within engage range. What? Why is this broken? What ain't... Okay, so something to do with its target. Raycast. What the fuck? Is the raycast not hitting me? Is it... So the raycast just doesn't see me anymore. Why? This doesn't make sense, man. Checking for player. So are you even looking? You should be. You're not. You're not checking for player. Okay, so chasing just moves us towards the agent. Oh! If I was to bring you back inside my range, do you start off in engaging now and just work? You do. Beautiful. Okay. So the problem is, when it's chasing the enemy, it's never trying to check whether or not it actually has caught up to the enemy. It only checks to see if it has a player. Every so often. So all we have to do is just say instance. Right? No? Yeah, I think that's the key. I'll just go to the brute AI. The chasing, we're going to pass this in as the instance, and then I'm just going to add that in here. Enemy AI. Should just call it AI. Yeah, fuck it. Instance equals instance. And then that should allow us to, in here, every time it checks to see where the player is, just check to see if it can see it. Make sense? Instance dot can see player. And then that should be enough. Fancy characters. I think that's it. I think that works. I hate that this is grayed out. And I don't know why. I'm pretty sure that's how you gotta do it. I don't know. Alright. So that should work. Oh. Oh, whoops. Oh, never mind. Yeah, this... There, that. And get rid of that. And that should be good. Alright. That's working. We got a lot of debug lines we can get rid of. I know that was it. We figured it out. Got it. Got it. I think we're gay. I think we're gay. I think we're good, is what I was gonna say. And then I sort of just faded into nothing. And it turned into gay. But I don't think we are good. Yeah. Yeah. hang on. We want to take you, move you all the way back out here. Ah, bam. And I should be dead. Beautiful. We did it. We fixed a problem that didn't exist last week. Well, it did, but we just didn't know that it was there. Beautiful. Okay, so what did we actually want to do there? Get rid of that. Get rid of that. That. Get rid of all of them. Alright, so what we want to do... Managers. So, with the sound manager, I think we're gonna have two different variants. Yeah. So, we're going to do this two different ways. So, I was watching a tutorial earlier about this exact same thing, right? And in his version of it, he creates a static script that just holds everything, right? And it has a single audio source. The problem with that is we have a 3D game, and we want to be able to move the audio source around, and I also want to do some cool things with, like spatial sounds and like coding in some stuff so that if a sound's on the other side of a wall, it's muffled by that wall. Stuff like that. I want to play with that later, and to do that we need to be able to move audio sources and have multiple. We can't just have a single static class that plays every single sound through the same speaker, basically. You know what I mean? In world. I don't know how to explain that better. So, I think we're going to have to create two separate audio managers. So we're going to need to be able to spawn sounds around the map randomly. So for things like grenades and stuff like that, it's the grenade's going to go off and then play a grenade sound at the position where the grenade went off. But then enemies are going to have a bunch of sounds associated with them. They're going to have footsteps, they're going to have weapon reload, I don't know, weapon sounds. They're going to have a bunch of shit attached to them as characters. So we don't necessarily want to be spawning, like, that one enemy can have a single audio source. You know what I mean? But we also want usability. So there is a world where I do want all sounds running through a single sound manager script, even if they work in different ways. Okay, so what I think we do, I've been thinking about it in my brainscape. What I think we do is we have a sound manager up top, right? It handles all of the existing, it handles everything, right? It is a static list, and the way that is, and then for something like enemies, which is going to have its own audio source, but a bunch of different sounds associated with that same audio source, we can have another sound manager that sits on objects. Do I not have a... where is the... somewhere around here. So this is the enemy script, or how the enemies are sort of sorted out. Sorted out. This, we're going to just rename. I will make it sound management. Alright, so, at the top, we're going to have a sound manager. God damn it, I'll spell it right eventually. Alright, that sound manager, void init, sound, but this is basically going to have a public field of what should we call them? We need another object. We need another one of these. So this is the king. It sits at the top, but it needs to have this one here. Will sit on an object. And what do we call it? A sound object. A I don't know. We could call this one a sound manager, and this one a sound master. Nah. Yeah, I think sound object is a good name. No, it's more of a sound local manager or a So if you're wondering what I was doing there while I look in my cup, it had a screw-on lid, and I don't like sipping through the double part of the thread. There's and then it gets a bit of coffee stuck in that thread. So I sip from the other side where there's only one little thread lid. Doesn't make sense. Don't worry about it. I do like the idea of calling that one a sound manager, or a sound... sound handler? Yeah. Okay, and then this one's going to have a list of sound types. Which I guess is going to be an enum, I don't know. What are we going to do? We're going to do an enum or a list? How are we going to do this? sound handlers of type sound handler. Jesus Christ. Oh, right. I'm so smart. Okay, so we're gonna have a sound handler. Hang on, I need to go pee. And then maybe we just start coding this shit and figuring it out as we go. It might be easier. Alright, I'll be back in a second. Oh my god, cold outside. Alright, yeah, let's just go start coding this, and we'll figure it out as we go, I reckon. So, we're gonna have managers here. What do we got? Oh, I was looking at the other folder there. I don't really need it. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna do sound manager. Beautiful. Not the game manager. I specifically tried to... Fuck me. Alright, open that one up. And then we're going to also create the sound handler. Handler. Yeah. God, I wish I knew it. Could be called like a sound slave. Literally could do like sound master, sound slave. Like that would make sense in this term, but I don't know. I don't fucking know. Alright, so this is what's going to sit on the object. This here is going to have a... We can just say a list of sound handlers for now. Alright, we're going to add a couple... Oh, one other thing we're going to do, sorry. Awake. We need to make this an instance. So, we need to have a... public static instance, public static sound manager instance, and then we'll say instance equals this. Beautiful, like that. And then with that we can now access any function in here that we would want. So we can actually do it slightly fancier. Ah, fuck it, who cares? This is the way that I know how to do it. Okay, public void add add handler. which is probably going to take in a sound handler. I really don't like the name handler, but I can't think of anything better. I can't. My brain is so bad. So, we're going to add, and I was going to say remove, but that doesn't really matter. It's going to be an init handler. So this is going to be called from here, and it is going to subscribe itself to this, and then it is also going to be able to, that means in here we can store all the sounds and all the good stuff. So that way we don't have to go through each enemy, or each instance of this, to make an enemy handler, or something like that, you know? Enemy sounds, or something like that. So, where do we start? Where do we start? We don't even necessarily need this. Alright, yeah, this sound handler is going to require a component type of audio source. And then this is going to have a I have an idea, but it's going to require a little bit of hard coding. So what we can do is up here we can say public enum, and we can call it sound types. And in here we can have a bunch of different sound types. So we can say something like enemy. Actually, no, I think it should be more specific than that. That. I didn't mean to do that. My bad. So what I think should happen is this script stores all the sounds and all the information about the sounds. This script just needs to have access to an audio source. It's going to grab the sound that it needs and play it through its own audio source. So this one here, God, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Alright, so we're gonna say we're gonna start with a footstep. It's gonna be brute footstep. I think. God, my brain is not ready for this. Alright, we're gonna have a play sound, which is going to take in a sound type. Which is also going to be tied into and a volume. Yeah, we'll do a volume. And init that as one. I am cheating a little bit. This I remember from the tutorial I not long watched. But alright, this is going to have a corresponding list of sounds. So like the first item in the list is going to be the brute footstep, basically. Right. Serialized field. And I guess we'll just do a sound audio clip. No, yeah, audio clip array. Alright. Sound. For now, we'll do it in that way. So when we do play sound, we're going to go play sound of type sound type. Cast that as an int, right? You can do that. Yep. Dot play. Whoop. This will give us an audio clip. My bad. But we're also passing in sound handler. This is stupid. I haven't figured out whether or not this is done yet. Alright, the handler, when it tries to play sound, it'll also have a public void play sound. Let's player. But there's going to be multiple sounds. So maybe this is stupid, sound handler. Yeah. I think sound handler is stupid. Because as it stands, everything else works will work fine. The only thing it needs access to is the source, and we can just simply pass that through when we play the sound. So let's just delete this this script altogether. I don't think we need sound handler. I don't think we need it. We can add it back if we decide we do. Alright, like that. Get rid of that, play sound, and all it's going to do is say source dot play one shot. Of that sound. That's how he did it, right? I'm just going to double check that that's how we cast from that.
And get the audio source, and I'm going to go play one shot. So what play one shot does, just put the clip we want to play, and here we have an audio clip array. So I'm going to go instance.sound list, and then what element of the sound list do we want to get? It would be the index of the current enum. So I'm going to get the sound, and then I'm going to convert that to an integer.
Yeah, okay, cool. You can't just cast like that. Okay, that's cool. I don't want to change the way I don't want to do it in the same way he did. He did it like this, where it's a static int like that, and then we go instance here, instance dot. There we go. And then that doesn't need to be public. That can be like that. So then we just have to call soundmanager.playSound. We don't have to type play soundmanager.instance.playSound. We just do soundmanager.playSound. Yay! Alright. So now we just need to trigger that somewhere. Also, we need to put that on something. Game manager. just gonna chuck it here. Chuck it there. And then this has to be a footstep sound. What do we got? Do we have any footstep sounds? What do we got? Move me out of the road a little bit. Yeah, that will work. Common sound effects? Nope. How do I not have footsteps? Crazy. Alright, let's try and download some. Free sound. We'll start there. Ugh. I read that as dicks then too. Alright, log in. Good. Don't need you. Alright. Dun-na-na-na-na-na-na. Footstep. What do we got? Damn, that's really good. What are you? Creative Commons. Sick. Alright, we're gonna download a bunch of these. Come on. Footsteps in the slush? That can't be. God, that's loud. Nah. No, I'm not gonna have outside stuff. I just wanted that snow one because it was really goddamn good. Footsteps on hollow wood. I can barely hear that shit. Hard female footstep. God, they're fucking getting mad like killback on me nails at the moment. Fine. Oh, walking in the underbrush. Alright, footsteps in woods. I thought that I read that as footsteps on wood. I'm smart like that. Footstep on stone? I didn't hear that shit. I'm just trying to think, which one can we modify? I reckon we can modify that to sound like a big dude. If we just make that slightly deeper, I reckon that'd sound like a big dude just running on concrete. You know? Right, I think we can probably modify those sounds a little bit. If not, we can just have them as a bloody thing, you know? Make a new folder for it. Foot steps. My brain was like, do I capitalize it? Alright, and we'll just open that up. Oh, fuck it. Audacity, where are you at? There. I was gonna say, fuck. Thought it wasn't there for a second. Yeah. Yeah, we'll leave it on the update for now. Always an update. Alright, what do we got? I'm gonna start with this one. Because I reckon we can do some cool shit with it. God, I need these as individual footsteps. He's a real bitch. Ah, right. I'm going to make use of a thing I've never done before. Because I always forget that it's a thing in... this. Oh, sorry. I'm not going to start that again today. Alright. So, what I can do is just go current selection. Oop. Snowy steps. Bought them all as is. We'll keep them. I may not end up using them right now, but I will keep them. I'm sure we'll find a use for them one day. I'm gonna modify them and then do this exact same thing in a second. Should I have added less of a tail to them? Eh, fuck it. We'll continue with less of a tail now, so that it starts quicker. Sorry, the start of this song just makes me think of Major Look by Nas. They shooting. Oh, Major Look. a slave to a page in my rhyme book. Getting big money, playboy, your time's up. Where them gangsters at? Where them dimes at? They shoot me. Made to look. This ain't rap, bitch. This is street hop. Make it up off your ass like your seat's out. Oh, better not say the next one. Damn, I was wondering how far I'd get before I found the N-word in that song. It wasn't, it was 3 lines. My live N-words lit up the reefer. Trunk of the car, we got the street sweeper. Don't start none, won't be none. No reason for your mans to pay. We don't wanna see no ambulances. Knock your pimp's drink down in your pimp cup. That's the way you get Timberland up. Let the music diffuse all the tension. Warlock convention, free admission. Hustlers, dealers, and killers. Come on, sweet girls, get close. You can feel where the tools kept. Yeah, I've listened to a fair bit of rap. Get money, the people run slow. Yeah, I'm gonna stop with that now because I have to like sing ahead and then find the fucking N-words. There was only one in that whole verse, but it made me sing the verse like an idiot. Because I couldn't just say it, I had to be like... No, we're good. Yeah, damn. Could you export these as individual tracks? Probably not, right? Could I, like... Could I do that? Oh, I could. Genius. I'm so smart. I need more tracks. Give me more tracks. How do I add more tracks again? I can't remember. I remember we need 13. Can I zoom out? Not that way. Yeah, like that way, but for all of them. Yeah. Yeah. Fine, I'll just keep doing this. Do we need this many? No, I'm doing 4. Alright, we're picking the best ones. What do we reckon? That's a good one. I do like that one. Alright, this one. That's a good one. Hmm? No, the best ones are these ones. We got the sharp ones. Those are the ones we want. I think those are the best. And you know what? Because that one there's pretty good as well, we'll add a 5th. Fine, why not? Yeah, you're good enough to warrant adding. I do love the slow decrease in length here. Didn't mean to do that, but here we are. Alright, all of you, go away. Alright. So... we do want them louder. Yeah, we'll do that. We can make them a little bit louder, and then we just want to bass them. Bass them. Tempo, change pitch. Actually, I reckon play them quicker but deeper. So, I reckon we're gonna change speed. Yeah, I reckon that, and then now dip them. Does that work? Or am I just like undoing it, essentially? I need more of like a more impact. What are we missing? What are we missing? What are we missing? There's another sound that's got to go on top of it that we're missing. These all need to be... Playing them all at once is still like... I just want to I need to merge that with some sort of impact. But like what? Maybe like a distant like sort of explosion or something. Jesus fuck. Be prepared. That bit. That just like tap. You hear it? That on top of that impact, I reckon. I reckon that's what we do. Woohoo! Alright, we're gonna take that. We're... Actually, yeah, no, we're gonna go back, but I want to keep this. Hang on. I want to look at that hashtag booming. Let us leave. Wrong booming, sorry. You do? You good? You good? There it is. Thank you. What? Boomy. Boomy, boomy, boomy. could be fun to have as like background. Oh, the fucking storm's still playing. I was like, what the fuck? God, sound gets me really excited. It's also so tedious. Alright, I'm gonna try adding that in, with that little impact. What was it again? What is it called? Small bomb. Also, what are these ones? Nah. Oh, can you hear that one? Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, because it just stopped. Bro, why the fuck is Windows Media Player so shit? I can't even like... Son of a bitch. Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ, bull in a china shop crash there. This one here, large impact has me... I feel like I've just slowed that down. Maybe. Ugh. It's gonna be immediate. Effect. Ooh! Ooh! Imagine giant robot running towards you with that. Ooh, I think that's the wide. Ooh, that's nice, actually. Alright, so what would that be if I mute that one? Let's take these 4 down here. And we're going to keep them as they were, but also normalize. Alright, so mute again. Mute again, mute again. I don't fuck with that one. That's my middle one there. Can I like bass boost the shit out of this? Oh, yes! Still don't fuck with this one. Maybe. I like that one. Alright, I reckon this is it. I reckon this is it. All of these. Individually. Right, da da da. Yeah, no, we're just gonna do entire project. Alright, this is gonna be sick, I reckon. I reckon this is gonna work. It's gonna be pretty good at least for beginning sounds. The more you do these, the more... Like, it's one of those things where you keep iterating on it and every time it just gets a little bit better. To the point where, like, sound design is just something you gotta keep chipping away at. And it'll get better and better and better and better until it's just sick. Alright. Why do I not have a sounds folder? Sound effects right there, I do. Here. Come back. What? Fuck. Why are you such an asshole? Asshole. Right. That would go into here. Actually, what I want to do...
And as my second parameter of play one shot, I'm going to pass through the volume that we want to play at. So if we go back to our inspector here, you can see that I've got our sound list and I can add more elements to them. So just to demo this out, I'm going to drag in all the audio clips that I need and I'm going to match them to the sound type enum here. So sword will be the first one, then it's magic, then it's land, then it's jump. Alright, so I've added all my sound effects in here, making sure that it matches the enum exactly. And we'll go to this issue later on in the video, don't worry. So now to try this out, I'm going to go to our player movement script. And what should I test out? Okay, I've got the check attack method here. So I'm going to go if it was successful in attacking play. I want to be left here. So I'll simply want through and add a range here between 0 and 1. So now when you enter the state, what I'm going to do is go sound manager and I'm going to play the sound that we'll select in the inspector and at the certain, also the volume that we want to play it at. And the last one I'm going to add is play sound exit, and this is important for like the fall animation here, because as we are falling, it will transition to another animation the moment we hit the ground. So I'm going to go play sound exit, change on state. I'm going to, you can see that whenever I get hit, it plays the first sound we just made. And I'm going to go, it's the state animator and the wizard animator, and I'm going to add all these scripts to them. I'll play. Okay, let's try again. I'm going to select that steps. So it's quite simple. If I were to go to my play here, and let's open up the animations panel, and let's go to the run animation. You can see I've already added 2 events here, and you can add an event by clicking this event button. And on this event, I want to play a sound. And you can see that I've timed these events, so it's when the player steps. So how do these events work? Well, if I go up to the function here, you can actually select a method to play that's on the current mono behavior. So if I were to go to my player, you can see I've got the play footstep script here, and let's edit it. And I've actually done it already. It has one method called play sound, and it simply plays the sound of footstep. So I've done it for the player, and I've also done it for the wizard as well. So if you go here, the wizard plays it at the very start. So let's click play, and if I start running, you can see it plays the footstep sound. And the wizard should... I've only got one audio clip for each type of sound. And let's try to add lots of sounds for each of these. So like when you're swinging with your sword, we can add like 4 sound effects there and it'll pick a random one. And also the inspector, you can see it goes element 0, element 1, element 2. And that's really annoying because you don't know which one it is, which ones you're dragging it to. So we're also going to change that. So we need to go back to our sound manager and make the audio clips multi-dimensional. So we have the list of sounds, and then in those sounds, it will pick a random sound to play. And I'm just going to comment this out. If we go back, you can see the Unity inspector doesn't like that. It doesn't like multi-dimensional arrays. So how do we go around this? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to create a struct, and then we're going to make an array of that struct. But the struct itself contains an array. So that's how we can get around it. So what do we do? Well, let's create a struct, and in the struct, I'm going to create a audio clip array.
I might just copy this one for one.
Instead of making, this standard audio clip array, I'm going to change this to become a sound list array. So now we have an array of a struct that also contains an array. Now this won't work initially because we need to serialize the struct. So up here, I'm going to go using system, and then above the struct, I am going to make this serializable. So let's give this another go, and there it is. We've got our sound list there. If I were to click plus, you can see I've got element 0, element 1, element 2, and then inside each of these, I've also got an array. So this is crucial because element 0, let's make it our sword sound effect. Well, now we can add 4 or like 5 or 6 different sounds just for our sword sound effect. Now the only problem with this is we've got element 0, element 1, element 2. How do we change this to be the names of our sounds? Well, I'll show you a little tip. I'm going to create another variable and I'm going to make it a string. So when you make a string at the top of a struct or something that shows in the inspector, we'll actually change the element to that name. So let's go back and I'll go down. You can see I've got our audio clip array, and now here I'm going to change the name, and it actually changes the name up here. So I can name the sword and it will change it to sword. But that's quite tedious of having to manually do it each time, so we're going to do this in code. First of all, I am going to hide this in the inspector and I'm going to make this public so then we can change it. Next, when the script gets enabled, I want to go through each of the sound list elements and I want to change the name of them to the name of the enums here. So how do we do that? First of all, I want the script to execute in edit mode, so I'm going to put that up here. And then down here, I'm going to do the on enable script, and I'll also only want this to execute if you are currently in the Unity editor. Alright, what's the first thing we need to do? Well, we need to first get all the names in the enum. So I'm going to make a string array, and I'm going to call it names. And what we're trying to get? Well, we're trying to get enum.getNames, and this here returns a string. And what enum do we want to get the names of? Well, let's go type of and the sound type. So now with this array, at element 0, it will be the string sword, and at element 1, it will be the string magic. So the next thing is we want to resize the length of the sound list array to be the exact size as this enum here. So to do this, I'm going to go array.resize, and I'm going to pass through the array that we want to resize. And what is that? Is the sound list array. And what is the length we want to set it to? We want to set it to the length of the names array, because that is the amount of elements in this enum. So now we've got all the names and we've resized the array. We want to go through each of the elements of sound list, and we want to change the name of them to be the name.
Sick. Alright, well, let's just copy that. Yeah. Fuck it. Pretty well just copy that one for one. So, let's do it. Sound manager, we're going to go down to here. We're going to go public, struct. Probably not even a public. We're just going to go struct. Sound list. Like that, I believe. System dot serializable. Alright, so not that one. I was trying to remember how we did it. So we're just going to create an array of sound lists, and those sound lists are going to have a thing. Alright. A sound list array. It's going to just have a public. What's it called?
To set it to the, we want to, so let's go finish the name of them.
It was an array of audio clips, wasn't it? Yeah. Audio clip array. Sounds. And then we're going to have a hide and inspector name. That didn't have a constructor, never mind, go back. So, that's going to be a list of lists. And then we're going to do the... We'll do execute in edit mode. We're not going to require a component of audio source.
To be the name of the sound type. So let's go for, and what is the
Ah, right. How do you do the if Unity editor statement? I always forget that. It's hashtag. Right, that's it? Yeah. God, I'm really fat fingering today. Alright, and on that enable, we're just going to do exactly what he did, which I'm already forgetting, which is get a list of names from the sound type array resize. Alright. String array names equals enum dot get names. What is it? Sound list? Sound types, right? Array dot resize the array to reference, and then the length. Sounds list, and then the size is going to be names dot length, not count. It's an array, not a list. And then we're going to loop over all of those. Names dot length. The wind's having fun. The wind and the rain outside. And that is just going to say sound list I dot name is going to be equal to name hi. Beautiful, like that.
length? Well, we want to set it to the length of the sound list. That's the, and just like that.
Did that just work like that? Did it? This we need to do something different. What is it? Random dot... Hang on, random dot range is a function. Oh, it's because they're using both. Setting 0. Jesus Christ. Okay, we need to store some of this. Audio clip array. Sounds. What the fuck did I just do? Why am I so fat fingery today? God! Sounds equals this. Dot sounds. There. How does he do it? No!
Is automatically the exact load it, where you can see automatically it just adds all the sounds that we need. And yeah, I'm going to start adding all the sounds in. Alright, so now I've added all the sound. Now under the play sound method, we're going to play a random clip. I am going to get this list we want. We're passing through this enum. So again, I'm going to cut what I want to get here. Sweet, so now when I call sounds, then it will return the sound array. So now up here, I'm just going to go dot sounds. And now we want to get a random audio clip. So I'm going to go to the element between 0
the exact
and
same
clip.
that I just did.
Now we just
Alright.
need to play it and we'll do the same thing as last time.
It's the exact same thing I did. Alright. Except he stored it as a clip. Alright, so. Yeah. Let's do it. What does that give us? Brute footsteps. Alright, like that. So now, if we go to the brute, this needs to be unlocked. God, the brutes have just so many components, and I don't love it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is the most that are going to be active. 9. Normally we would turn off. Yeah, no, okay, so only on the player are these ones active. Now. I fucking hate game development. No, I'm kidding. It's alright. Alright, add an audio source to this sucker. Audio source. he got that source. So he, back in his footsteps, what are the chapter names? Tell me the chapter names. Why can't I see the
And
chapter
make
names?
the audio clips multi-dimensional. So we have the list of sounds clip for each type of play that's on the current mono behavior. So if I were to go to my player,
Why won't
you
you
can
let me
see
see
I've
the
got the play
fucking
footstep
names?
script here, and let's edit it. And I've actually done it already. It has one method called play sound, and it simply plays the sound of footstep. So I've done it for the player, and I've also done it for the wizard, and it simply plays the sound.
Alright.
Of footstep. So I've done it for the player, and I've also done it for the wizard as well. So if I go here, the wizard plays it at the very start. So it's got play, and if I start the wizard of footstep. So I've done it has one method play foots on the current mono behavior. So if I were to go to my
I get it, but I'm just wondering the script that I write. Do I do just a play sound script that it can hold a little bit of information? So do I just go... For instance, do we just have like a play sound script? Attached to something like this. Oop. I was gonna say, how is that already broken? Crazy. Serialized field, and it's going to be a sound type. And then all it is going to do is have a public void play sound. Float volume. So that is going to be able to go sound manager dot play sound, and it's going to pass in the source. It's going to pass in the sound type, and it is going to pass in the volume. Like that. So that just ties the sound of the audio source. And then all it's got to do... There. Get the component of audio source so that we can find it. There. There. Alright. Ah, fuck. Yeah, I guess just making a play footstep script isn't the worst. I just hate having so many goddamn scripts attached to the same character. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to remove that. Delete this. Man, why do we start with footsteps? It's really the dumbest place to start. Yeah, no, so I'm right. The player has to have something attached to it that allows it to communicate to the sound manager. So we do need some sort of sound handler script that we had before. Oh, also, there's even been no music playing this whole time. Ugh. I'm gonna chop up real quick too. My god, eh? Game development. We've been live for nearly 2 hours and I still haven't really achieved anything. That's crazy. I'm so fucking bad at coding. It's crazy that I both know what I'm doing and suck so much. The mixture of competence and incompetence is crazy. God, I have so little. I have so little. Only the tiniest little bit. Should really not have my camera on while I'm doing this. Gad. It's alright. So what do we call it? What do we... You know, what do we do? Not sure. Honestly, the part that's pissing me off the most is just the fact that I can't think of a good name for it. It's not that I don't know what to do with it, it's just like, what do we call it? A good, like, a sound intermediary? I don't even know how to spell that shit. A middleman? I think sound handler is probably the way to do it. Sound handler is probably the best name I got. Also, boop. Every time my camera, I have to reset it because I keep turning it off at night. The son of a bitch. Yeah, I reckon so. We have a sound handler on that when it needs to, it's just going to call. And I think that sound handler is just going to have, like, necessary functions inside it that it needs to play certain sounds. Like, there aren't going to be that many. Yeah. And then they'll just have set functions. So, like, play footstep, play... Yeah. So, like, how did he do it in his?
And you can see that I've timed these events so it's when the player steps. So how do these events work? Well, if I go up to the function here, you can actually select a method to play that's on the current mono behavior. So if I were to go to my player, you can see I've got the play footstep script here, and let's edit it. And I've actually done it already. It has one method called play sound, and it simply plays the sound of footstep. So I've done it for the player, and I've also done it for the wizard as well. So if I go here, the wizard plays it at the very start. So it's click play, and if I start running, you can see it plays the footstep sound, and the wizard should also play the footstep sound as well. Alright, so we got our system in place. However, I've only got one audio clip for each type of sound, and let's try to add lots of sounds for each of these. So like when you're swinging with your sword, we can add like 4 sound effects there, and it'll pick a random one. And also the inspector, you can see it goes element 0, element 1, element 2, and that's really annoying because you don't know which one it is, which ones you're dragging it to, so we're also going to change that. So we need to go back to our sound manager and make the audio clips multi-dimensional. So we have the list of sounds, and then in those sounds, it'll pick a random sound to play. And I'm just going to comment this out. If we...
Also, I just have to mention, I have fucking PTSD from that. From the fucking messenger tone. When my ex broke up with me, I literally, every time I heard that messenger tone, I had to change the tone. Because some part of my brain kept going, oh, is that her? And fucking hell, it was like a little heartbreak every single time that tone went off. Oh man, I fucking hated it. I'm good now, like it doesn't really bother me now. But that fucking tone, it at one point in my life, killed me. I fucking hated it. I hated it. Mine doesn't make that sound anymore, I had to change it just for that. But yeah, little random story there. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna make this, we're gonna put in managers. Put it next to the sound manager. We'll call it a sound handler. You gotta love how we loop back around to doing this same shit. I'm really good at finding the long way to do the easy thing. I guess. Alright, so all that's gonna do is have a public void, which is gonna be like play footstep. Play brute footsteps specifically, because we're going to have different footsteps for different characters. And then that is just simply going to go sound manager dot play sound. What's the dog barking at, you bitch? This one I am going to have a serialized field for the audio source, because that's something that's always going to be able to be set in Inspector. There's no point in doing it any more complicated than that, so we're going to plug in the source. We're going to plug in the sound type brute footsteps, and then we're going to play the volume of 1. Yeah. Alright, so we can now add that sound handler onto the character. Throw the audio source in there. Just apply that so both mutants have it. And then when we animate, we're going to say character, not there, sorry. Creature pack. So we can play different ones for the different states. So walking. So right as his foot hits the ground, we're going to add the vent. And it's going to be called Play Brute Footstep. Down there. Add another one. Do that. So the two main ones that we're going to handle are walking and running. The shuffling and the turns, we could probably do something else for it eventually. Whoops. There. And there. Alright. So that should work. This may be really loud. Damn. Alright, da. It is a little annoying to hard code these things. It wouldn't be the worst thing to have corresponding volume sliders in this. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. Volume equals 1. Let's just make this a class then. So we can initialize that to 1, and then we can say that it has a range slider from 0 to 1. So then that, stupid, this, stupid. Sound manager, it's going to play one shot with a volume scale of That works, but I hate it. Also, fuck this song. Jesus Christ. There. Better. And also, don't have the volume on the bottom, have it on the top. Just smarter. I guess name has to be at the top. Yeah, that works. Alright, so 0.4 on the volume for footsteps. What does that give us? So quiet. Also, I suppose I have this set quite
Go
well.
back, you can see the...
Oh no, noise normalization is hard in this. Imagine this guy as a robot. That's like the... Remember, that's the character we're making. He's just temporary. Alright, so I won't walk now, and we'll listen for him coming to us. God damn it! Ah, fuck, he died. God damn it, I killed him by accident again. How do I get him to stop jumping at me? Because my god. God, I accidentally killed him again. Alright, one of the things I'm noticing with the jump is because it's so delayed, if I'm holding forward now, press jump, and then put my hands off, he jumps in place. Like, when it starts to jump, you're sort of under the impression that he's going to jump in that direction, you know what I mean? Whatever direction you've decided when it starts to jump. So that's what we're gonna have to trigger, change that at some point. I'm gonna just put a note down for that. Probably not a red, we're gonna do an orange one. Root, jump. Direction needs work. Root jump direction needs work. Alright. Alright, so now what I want to figure out is just going to be the next sound, which I guess is going to be the jump. I'm good. Fun. Bro, that's the TARDIS. I mean, it's not, but... This is way too loud, hang on. Oh god, so loud. What was this one? That almost sounds like a revving remote control car, which sounds sick. Nope. Bro, I'm not even gonna look at that shit.
Nothing matters because we are in charge of the dance floor tonight.
Well, you tell him, brother. So I'm thinking of like a boom, and like as he sort of like charges up to jump, and then an extension. So the charge part, I think we're going to take a couple of these. This one here is maybe we'll take it. Sorry, I'm broke. Yeah, we'll take it. Jesus Christ, brother. Fucking goated. I love it. Look, yes, I really am. I'm sorry, I can't donate pence. Or whatever the fuck they were. Euros? Who knows? Ooh. Alright, I reckon we can do something with those. We just get a bunch of... sound effects. What would you call them? We'll call them charge effects. Alright, 2 seconds. I gotta run out and pee. I'm fucking boosting. Boosting! Back in a second. Yeah, I'll put it on the back in a second screen. Alright, I'm back. I'm still here. I made the smart decision as well of making a coffee at 6 PM. That might have been dumb. I had to though, I had no other choice. I fucked up my milk a little bit earlier today. Because when I made my last coffee, I just did that, I don't know what the fuck I was doing. But when I went to pour the milk in, I just kept fucking pouring it. Like, instead of just putting a little bit in the bottom of the cup like you meant to do, I just poured a shitload in there. So then I had to fucking pour the milk back out into the goddamn bottle. Luckily it was only like a little bit in the bottom of the bottle. Like I'm almost out of milk. So like, I don't know. I just poured coffee milk back into the bottle. Like half coffee milk back into the bottle. Luckily I'm the only one that drinks this shit. So it doesn't really matter, but like, I just have brown milk now. I just made a little bit of really bad iced coffee. With no sugar in it. Actually, I suppose there'd be a little bit of sugar in it too. Kettle's about to finish boiling. Why is that other camera not working? It's because I unplug it all the time. There we go. Ready? Whoop. Haha! 2 cameras! Rag, stop trying to get on my lap. I'm about to get up. Idiot. Hang on, I'll be back for the creepy song. I should hopefully be getting a dinner invite as well soon. As Granny mentioned. Nah, not yet. No messages yet. Mentioned. Messages mentioned. Mentions. Tea ready at Granny's. God damn it. Alrighty then, well I think that's going to be the end of the stream. Because I got to go eat. Eat my dinner. 2 seconds after I made a coffee. What a pain in the ass. But anyway, thanks for dropping in, everyone that did. 0. That number right there. You can't see it. It's right there on my OBS. It says 0. No one dropped in for this stream. That's okay. So I'm not saying goodbye to anyone. Deuces. No one?